$3 tip.
Nice. All right, let's go through those problems, see how you did. It was on, well, the page doesn't matter, but it was a few problems. So what kind of things could we go over to help you out? It was,
No idea. What I put this one.
I wrote it down someplace.
I, oh,
What problems did you want to see?
oh my God, I love it. Look at it. It's done.
Yay.
I'm done.
Annie?
Can I just go over 40, 30 just to make sure I'm doing it right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I could just see the answer. I'm good.
43, that's the one with the boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good choice, I like those.
There were a lot of weird errors.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what 43 looks like. So I'm gonna write 1, 2, 3, 4 down this. And then I'm gonna write 1, 2, 3, 4 across the top. Okay, so can I go from 1 to 1? No. Can I go from 1 to 2? Yes. Can I go from 1 to 3? Yes. Can I go from 1 to 4 in one path? No. Can I go from 2 to 1? Yeah, the arrow points back. Can I go from 2 to 2? I can't go back on itself, so that's a 0. Can I go from 2 to 3? Yes. Can I go from 2 to 4? Yes. Can I go from 3 back to it, or 3 to 1? I don't have an arrow going back, so no. Can I go from 3 to 2? I don't have an arrow pointing back there, so no. Can I go from 3 to 3? I can't go back to itself. Can I go from 3 to 4? Yes. Can I go from 4 to 1? Can I go 4 to 1? No. Can I go from 4 to 2? There's an arrow. Can I go from 4 to 3? Yes, there's an arrow. Can I go from 4 to itself? No. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, I got that one right.
Cool. So it just tells you the paths it's taken is all it's doing. All right, anything else you'd like to see? Okay. If you have a TI graphing calculator, get it out. If you need to borrow one, grab one from the back cabinet, please. There's in that back right-hand cabinet there, yellowish in color. All right. When I'm multiplying matrices together, I'm going to show you how to do it on the calculator, but I'm going to tell you why sometimes the calculator doesn't work. Okay? And if the calculator doesn't work, that means that it won't multiply. So let's say I have, and so this is a 2-row by 2-column matrix, agreed? And then this is a 3-row by 2-column matrix. When you're multiplying matrices together, the inside dimensions, they have to match. If they don't match, they won't multiply. Now, here's kind of the goofy. If I were to take the exact same matrix and multiply it by the exact same matrix, just changing the order, this is a 3 by 2, and this is a 2 by 2. Now these match. So our answer will be a 3x2 matrix C. The outside dimensions tell you what it's going to be. So just know when you're multiplying two matrices together, it's very possible that they inside dimensions don't match, which means you cannot multiply them. Remember, when you add or subtract them, they have to be the identical dimensions. When you multiply them, then they have to match. So what I want to do is I want to go in on a calculator. Oh, yay, look, we have a sine curve or a cosine curve. So if you're using my calculator, I'm going to show you how to just reset it. If you're using your own calculator, it's your choice if you want to reset it or not. If you reset it, if you have your own calculator, anything that was saved under the programs is going to be erased. So it's your choice if you want to do this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go second plus. If you're using my calculator, go second plus. And it takes you to that screen. Good so far? You're going to go down to reset, so hit number 7. And then you want to go ahead and take care of all RAM. And then it says reset RAM, no or reset. Hit number 2, and it should take you to that screen. We good to go? Okay, what that basically does is because those are shared calculators, so you have no idea what might have come on that screen. Okay, so after that, you can just go ahead and hit clear, and that just takes you back to the home. Okay, so.
Will they, I'm not sure if this is connected with the radian or radon or whatever.
Radian versus degree, it's something matter with matrices.
Oh,
It
sweet.
just matters with sine, cosine, and tangent.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay. All right. So the next thing I want to do is we're going to just make up a matrix equation. It doesn't matter what it is, but we're going to make it up. So let's make up a few. So let's do a second. You hit second x to the minus 1, and it takes you to the matrix screen that looks something like that. And this is for all of you with a calculator, not just the borrowed ones. Okay. So we're going to move, take our arrows, we're going to move over to edit and hit enter for matrix C1. And let's make this a 2x4 matrix. So it has 2 rows and 4 columns. Okay. Now, friends, put whatever values you want in there that are numbers. If you use the negative, then use the bottom one. But I'm just putting some arbitrary values in there. And so once you have your matrix filled out, and I chose 5, -1, 8, 9, 4, 0, 2, 3. Okay, and you can mimic that if you'd like. If you make a mistake, all you have to do is just arrow over to wherever you made a mistake, and it'll take you to it and just hit the new problem and then enter. Can I move off that one? Okay, so that was a 2x4. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit second matrix again. I'm now going to edit, I'm now going to edit the second matrix. And I'm going to make the second matrix a 4x5 matrix. And again, I'm just going to pick arbitrary values. It doesn't matter. So I just put in whatever values. You can put whatever values you want. Just make sure your dimensions match mine. So we have a 4x5. And was it a 3x4 was the other one? Yeah, or 2x4. 2x4. Okay. So once you have everything plugged in, hit second mode, and it quits. It takes you back to the home screen. For whatever reason, the operating system for TI doesn't allow you to just do the math in the matrix mode. You have to exit it and then do the math operations. So you're going to go back to second matrix. Now, what I had said before I can multiply a 2 by 4 versus a 4 by 5 because the 4s match. My inside dimensions match. My outside dimensions are 2 by 5. So my answer should be 2 rows by 5 columns. So I'm going to hit matrix 1, and then I'm going to hit times. And then you go back second matrix and hit matrix 2. And when you multiply them, it gives you the answer to that matrix, which is pretty cool. Okay, now what I want you to show you though is I'm going to go back into matrix C. I'm going to go second matrix. I'm going to do matrix C B times matrix C A. If I multiply those together, it's going to say it's a dimensional mismatch. That meant the inside dimensions didn't match. If they don't match, you can't multiply the matrices together. Okay? So what I want you to do, take a few minutes. And what we could do is you can go ahead and keep those matrices in there if you'd like, or you can get rid of them. Change matrix A, make it this. Take matrix B and have it this. Matrix C, make it this. One more row. Okay, and I'd like you to do A times B, B times A times C, and C times A. Just see if you can figure those out. Plug them in as your matrices. See if you can figure them out. Of course, I can totally help you if you need help, if you get stuck on plugging in the matrices. And if you ever get to a point the calculator is being totally goofy, the second memory reset will take care of it. So you just didn't want to get into a silly mode. Dude, I'm getting messages. This never happens to me. Here, I'll show you the. Here's a. I think this is called a meme, but I'm not sure. Just in case there was any question about.
Oh my God.
Just in case you had any questions about.
B times A is not supposed to work.
I would think it wouldn't because you have a 4 by 1 times a 2 by 4. The inside dimensions would match. But the other way, A times B should work.
Oh,
How's it going? Is it working? So let's just to be sure, this is why certain ones won't work. So this is a 2x4. This is a 4x1. And this is a 4x4. So if I go A times B, I get a 2x4 and a 4x1. Those match, so your answer should have been 2x1. This would have been a 4x1 and a 2x4. The inside dimensions don't match, so it does not work. A times C, I have a 2x4, and I have a 4x4. Inside dimensions match. That means my answer should be a 2x4 matrix. And then if I go C times A, I get a 4x4 times a 2x4. Inside dimensions don't match, so it does not exist. Agree? Does that make sense? Pretty easy to use, yes? I will tell you this, my friends. If I had given you that as a longhand problem, it would have been, if your arithmetic's really good and you're good at arithmetic without using a calculator, 20 to 30 minutes worth of work just for those 4 problems if you did it by hand. Okay? So it's the tool on the calculator is a really valuable tool. Now there's a new thing I want you to do is go ahead and keep your matrix A in there, but do this. Do 3A. So what you're going to do with that is you're going to go 3 times second matrix, enter. I believe that's the order. And what you're doing with that is you're multiplying, you're distributing that 3 to all of your terms in your matrix. Okay, so try that. Do 3A. So it's 3 times, and then second matrix, and then A, enter. And what it does, it'll just triple all of those terms. And would somebody tell me what matrix CA was? Second matrix. What was matrix 1? Or A? What did I give you? It's a what by what?
No, I think it's 2x4. That's a 2x4.
2x4, okay. And then reading across, what were the numbers?
2,
2,
1,
1,
3,
4,
4,
5,
5,
5,
3,
3,
7,
7,
negative 2.
and negative 2. Okay, so if I was out of that, and I wanted you to do 3 times A, so 3 times second the matrix A. So it just does that. It triples all the values. It just multiplies by 3. Pretty simple, right? Okay, so I want to give you all the opportunity to start. Do you all feel comfortable with this?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give you an assignment, but I want you to try and see if you can get it done before the end of the period. It's not due by the end of the period, it's due next class period. But being not everyone has that calculator, I want to make sure you have the opportunity to have a practice on it, okay? All right, so I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to give you the matrices. They have so those are the matrices. So then here's the problems. This is number 5 is 3A. Number 6 is 4D. Number 7 is 4C plus 2D. Number 8 is 5C minus 3D. Number 9 is 2A minus 3B. Number 10 is 3B plus 4F. Number 11 is C times D. Number 12 is D times E. And number 13 is D times C. Seem good?
For B, the middle row all the way to the left, is that a 4 or a 9?
This one right here?
Yeah.
That is a 4. And I'm going to stop recording now because I think we got that. And you just have the rest of the period to work on that and get it done.